Welcome to my new throwback, not new, reintroducing my Throwback Thursday series on the Protest Sports Network, where we talk about fallen players that ever played for the Washington Redskins football team or Commanders. And this one we'll talk the fallen commander. This one's on one Carson James Wentz. We'll talk about his rise, his fall in his career, and where I think his career is at now. And is he going to be forced to retirement at the age of 30? Short intro. Welcome back to the Protest Sports Network. It's your boy Tone. I'm back with another video. Before I get into today's video, AGTJ, glory to God. If I got right now, I hope God's open doors people for all you guys in Jesus' name. Pray in today's video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Please like the video also. And share it with your friends and family so you can join the Protest Sports Network family by adding new members to our family every single day. I very appreciate all the love and all the support on the channel. Also, go follow us on the daily on Instagram and subscribe to all my bros down in the description down below. One more thing. Subscribe to my second channel, Life of Tone, where you get vlogs, you get reaction videos to DMV stuff, and also Jack TV stuff. You watch Jack TV, and you guys get fashion videos and fashion tips. And one more thing, you will get Change the Narrative podcast episodes every other Tuesday at 7 o'clock p.m. We talk about how to take the narrow path, not the broad path of destruction. But let's get to today's video, though. If you want to skip to the 150 mark, and you can get right to today's video. So let's talk about one Carson James Wentz. Carson Wentz was the second pick in the 2016 NFL draft by the Philadelphia Eagles. He played 5 years for the Eagles, and the 2017 season was the best season of Carson Wentz's career, as he did a lot of good things. Also, his rookie year wasn't too bad either. Had some good moments. He started off brand new in his career, having, I think, one of the best stretches a rookie ever had in a career as well. But we're going to look at his career stats. So we're going to go ahead and really take a really deep look at his career stats. So this is Carson Wentz. Right now, he is 30 years of age, from Bismarck, North Dakota. Said number 2 overall pick in the 2016 NFL draft. Just turned 30 not too long ago on December 30th. Played for the Commanders last year, but we will get to his career stats right here if I can find his game logs. Where's his game logs? My fault, y'all. Okay. Okay, so I said he started off good game busters in 2016. First pregame start brand new, had like an 8 touchdowns to like 4 interception ratio. Looked very good. And then he kind of tailed off, threw 14 picks overall that year, kind of struggled a little bit, had 33 sacks, had a QBR for 46.7. But he had some good moments, all right? So his 2017 season, his completion percentage did drop by 2 percentage points. He also had 500 less yards because he did get hurt with the ACL tear. But he did have 33 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, and was the unarguable MVP at that time before he tore his ACL, unfortunately, which killed his confidence. But in 2018, he bounced back. Had almost a 70% completion percentage, which is his highest of his career. 3,074 yards passing, a 3-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, which has been most of his career has been a 3-to-1 ratio. With 21 touchdowns, 7 picks. Passer rating was 102.2, and his QBR was solid at a 62.0. The next year, 62.8 QB rating or QBR. Quarterback rating 93. He was sacked 37 times, unfortunately. He had a 53-yard touchdown pass, 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 4,000 yards passing, and was the first quarterback to ever have a 4,000-yard passing season without a receiver having 500 yards receiving in a season, which is very interesting. Led the Eagles to a 9-7 record in a playoff berth versus the Seattle Seahawks, which he did suffer concussion in his first series of the game, which they made Josh McCown finish that game, which now he's retired. So that's that. 2020, the year where everything goes left for one Carson James Wentz. 57.4 completion percentage. 2,620 yards passing, 6 yards per attempt, 16 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Played a lot of hero ball, thrown a lot of balls in double coverage. I'll give you the game that I think could have possibly broke Carson Wentz's confidence for sure, and I'll talk about that a little later. But 16 touchdowns, 15 picks. QBR was 41.9. It was also eventually benched for the second round pick in their draft in Jalen Hurts, and they never turned back. They traded Carson Wentz to the Indianapolis Colts for a first and third round pick. He played well that next year, though. 3,500 passing yards off 62% completion percentage, 27 touchdowns, 7 picks. But his bonehead picks were bonehead picks. Like tossing like this and throwing into double coverage, trying to throw the ball away inside their own 5-yard line, which caused a pick 6. His turnovers are very critical at times. And that Jacksonville Jaguars game put a very sour taste in Jim Irsay's mouth, which forced the trade to the Washington Commanders, which he looked good early. After 2 games, he had 650 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, and 3 picks. But the Eagles game that year kind of killed his confidence once again, which I'll be talking about much more in depth about his career. Pretty bad game by Carson there, and really costed the Commanders a game there and also eventually their season. Looked bad against the Cowboys. Looked very pedestrian versus the Chicago Bears to be very nice about it. And then he was hurt for a while. We saw him look good in that 49ers mop-up duty. And then just broke all himself with the Browns and finished with 1,755 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, 9 interceptions with close spree in the last game versus the Browns. Probably the lowest I've ever seen Carson Wentz play, with a 32.9 QBR and a quarterback rating of 80, which is the lowest since his 2020 season of 72.8. All right, so like I said, 2016 looked really good early. Confidence was a little shot toward the end of the season. Was kind of throwing a bunch of hero ball picks, things of that nature. But he did bounce back in 2017 was his best season by far. And they had the ACL tear, unfortunately. Also, I think he had like 6-7 rushing touchdowns that year, too. So he had accounted for 40 touchdowns for the Eagles that year, which is absolutely insane. But had the ACL tear, unfortunately. Bounced back in 2018, had a really solid year, but didn't look the same Carson, but he looked very similar to the old Carson Wentz that we saw. 2019 was absolutely phenomenal. A really good year by Carson there. And probably my favorite year outside of 2017 has to be 2019. He played great football. I remember it was a 3rd and 13 versus the Redskins at the time. And he scrambled. He's looking for a receiver and finds Miles Sanders in the back of the end zone. Perfectly thrown ball into double coverage. And it's a perfectly thrown touchdown pass to put the Eagles up. And then he threw a touchdown pass to Greg Ward, which put us away and ended the game for the Eagles and still their victory 28-24 in that ball game. But Carson was actually incredible. You can remember even I think it might have been the 2017 season. It was either 2017 or might have been 2019. That same year, it was 2017, I believe. He had the Houdini on 3rd and 10. You sacked Carson Wentz. He comes out there and get a first down. Even 2019, that first game was up 17-0 with a Terry McLaurin touchdown. And I think he might score 2 touchdowns in a row that game. Don't quote me there. But yeah, I think he scored 2 touchdowns in those first 2 drives. It was either Terry and Vernon Davis. It was Vernon Davis. It was up 17-0. Carson Wentz just goes on a freaking tear, and we lose that game 32-20, unfortunately. Carson's had some really good games. On the Rams game before he got hurt in 2017 was incredible. He had an incredible performance in that game. Even this past season, 2022, he threw 4 touchdowns in his Commanders debut, which is the most by any Washington quarterback in their debut. He threw 2 to Jahan Dotson, 1 to Terry McLaurin, and 1 to Curtis Samuel. Threw for over 300 yards. He did throw 2 picks in the middle of the game, which were absolutely horrific, but he did throw 4 touchdown passes nonetheless. He followed out with a 3 touchdown, 1 interception performance against the Lions, and all 3 touchdown passes were in the second half. So Carson can still play. It's his confidence. I kept saying confidence killer. These are confidence killer games. I'll give you an example. After he got hurt versus the Rams, he kind of struggled in that 2018 season. Looked good in 2019. The game I think that really broke Carson's confidence was Week 1 versus the Washington football team. After changing their name for Redskins, the football team, due to the Native American slander and all that type of stuff. The Carson Wentz led Eagles were up 17-0. Just how they were down 17-0 against the former Redskins the year before in Week 1, they were now up 17-0. This time, however, Carson Wentz was sacked 9 times. He was bruised. He was battered. He threw a nasty pick to Jimmy Moreland. He threw another nasty interception, I think, to Fabian Moreau. It was bad. Carson was bad in that second half, and he looked flustered. And for the rest of that season, he looked like cold garbage. I'm going to call it what it is. I'm a Carson Wentz fan, brew and brew, but I'm going to call it what it is. Carson Wentz looked like garbage. The second game that I think that really destroyed Carson Wentz's confidence was Week 3 against his former team, the Philadelphia Eagles, as a Commander. He looked really good in the first 2 games, right? Like I stated, 7 touchdowns, 3 picks. But this time, he was also sacked 9 times in a game involving the Philadelphia Eagles, this time being the opponent, and it destroyed his confidence. He was never the same for the rest of that season. That goes to show injuries and confidence are the things that are going to end Carson Wentz's career. I think they're going to force Carson Wentz to retire. Injuries such as the vertebrae break back in 2018, forced him to miss 5 games, the ACL tear, which ended his 2017 season. Also, he had a broken finger, I think. He had a broken finger last year as a Commander. 2021, he played a full slate. And that's in 2018, he had the broken vertebrae, 20 ACL this year. 19, he played all 16, which is great. In 2020, he was benched. But the three injuries that really kind of derailed his career were the ACL tear, the vertebrae, and the broken ribs. He had a broken rib in his rookie year, which is like insane in preseason. It's kind of crazy. So injuries really derailed Carson's development and also his confidence at times. You keep getting hurt, bro. It's kind of hard to play with reckless abandon and just play who you are if you're injured a lot. And also confidence killers. I said, like the game versus the Washington football team in Week 1, I think killed his confidence, bro. He didn't like the same Carson Wentz. He was throwing nasty picks. He was out there just trying to play hero ball. He's trying to just force it to Zach Ertz. He's not looking through reads. He's not looking through progressions. And he was just trying to play hero ball. And I think he was scared to get hit. I'm going to call it what it is. He played scared, bro. He was absolutely freaking horrific and mortified. He was mortified by the Washington defensive line in Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Deron Payne, and Jonathan Allen. Fast forward to 2022, facing the Eagles defensive line of Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave, Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, you name it, Jordan Davis. They derailed Carson Wentz's 2022 campaign as they sacked him 9 times and completely killed the young man's confidence. Now, so the rise was he had a great 2017 season, had some really good years in 2 years after that, and was pretty much a top 10 quarterback in the National Football League. I said the 2020 Week 1 game, I think destroyed Carson's confidence, destroyed Carson's psyche, and really derailed his career. And he hasn't been the same since. And he had a really good 2021, but he also struggled against very inferior competition at times. And also he had against really good defenses, he kind of struggled a little bit, i.e. the New England Patriots game, we went 5 for 12 for 55 yards and 2 picks. That was kind of awful by Carson, but they won the game despite of one Carson James Wentz. And also he had a bad game versus the Jaguars. But he has a really good game versus the Ravens, having 3 touchdown passes, 450 yards passing, and probably his best passing game of his career as a NFL player. So the rise of Carson Wentz was 2017. Still was doing his thing throughout the 2018 and 2019 seasons, except for the vertebrae injury back in 2018. Like I stated, 2020, confidence broke, never was the same. Has some flashes here and there, but I think Carson will be forced to retire at the age of 30. No one's going to sign Carson Wentz, I don't think, anymore. And I think he's going to be forced into retirement. He's made a ton of money, though, and I wish Carson nothing but the best, but I think his career's over. He had one last chance in Washington, and unfortunately, he blew it. He blew it. He looked good early, and I thought after 2 weeks, I'm like, this is the guy I was looking for. This is the guy we traded for. And Eagles game destroyed any hope of that even being a thing. So that's going to do it for me. That is my episode on the Fallen Commander. And this one is talking about Carson James Wentz. What are your thoughts on this video? What are your thoughts on my sentiments about Carson Wentz's career, where it's heading? And do you think he gets another chance in the National Football League? Comment down below. This is one of my Junes. This is my June segment only. It's a little slow right now with the NFL. Nothing's going on. So the NBA finals are over with and all that type of stuff. So it's something I want to drop for you guys, just to kind of give you guys a throwback series every Thursday at 8 p.m. So come check it out. I appreciate all the support. Like, comment, subscribe. Also turn on post notifications. Always catch a Protect Sports video at the Protect Sports Network. Guys, put God first, save this COVID. With these shootings out here, with everything going on out here on these streets, man. The NOW, NWO, whatever you want to call it. Well, all the stuff is going on in these streets, man, and the mainstream media. Just be safe, be healthy, stay vigilant, and stay blessed. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Until next time, y'all be easy, man, and have a wonderful rest of your day or evening or when you catch this video. Peace.